So this is the first book in a series of all kinds of different stuff with relations to military transition to retirement. And I wanted to get it out there, get it off my chest, and go over some of the things that you may or may not know, or have questions about, or are concerned about your retirement. You're going to have things that you're thinking about that you didn't even think would cross your mind at any given point in time while you were in your active duty, reserve time, whatever it happened to be that you spent during the military. Where I'm going to start out is a little bit about myself. My name's Bob. I am a retired Marine. I did 29 years, combination between active duty and reserve. Retired as a Master Guns, which is similar to a Sergeant Major in any of the other services, or the Air Force, the Command Master Chief billet. I loved what I did, and I've done all kinds of different stuff. I'll bring that up in different books throughout the series. However, my specific background, based off of my MOS, was a heavy equipment operator. That's where I started out. And by the time I finished all of my time in the military, I was working with future operations in the Middle East for the Marine Corps, and also for CENTCOM as a strategic planner. So that's just a nutshell of what I got. But let's get into this, soup to nuts. For the first chapter, what I want to go over is, do you really want to get out? And it takes a lot, and pay attention. Watch my facial gestures. It's interesting because there's times when, you got to ponder things and look and paying attention. So, do I really want to get out? I think for most of us, there's a time and a place when we feel like we're ready to get out. And when we're ready to get out, it's like, okay, where do I sign? Where's the paperwork? What do I need to do? How many things are on the agenda? And a million other questions that pop up. At the time when I retired, it was my time to get out. Everything was lining up. It was just the right time with the different things that were going on with the military, the changes, bodies falling apart. Once you crack that big 5-0, it's a big warning sign. Just start to pack it in and get ready to relax and sit back and enjoy life. That also, do you want to get out? Some of us might not want to get out. You're still young enough, you can stay in there. And if you can do it and, you're in a good position to stay in, totally acceptable and totally would understand. I would highly recommend, if you're able to stay in. But if you get to your tenure, your 30 years as an enlisted guy is usually maximized, unless you fall into a lucky billet like Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, or senior enlisted advisor for one of the chairmen or something like that. You can fill that out and go up to, I believe, 36 years. That's totally up to you, your decision. Now, if you're an officer, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Depending on your rank structure, you want to maintain your commission. You're in your line numbers for promotion and all that good stuff. Are you being groomed to be a general? Do you plan on being, the next commandant of any one of the services, or plan to be a secretary or one of the vice chairman? Hey, God bless you, more power to you. But you're looking at like minimum 40 years on your span of military employment at that time. So something to think of. Do you really want to get out? Do the pros and cons. Pro, why you should stay in. Con, why you should get out. Are you established? Do you have your finances in place? Have you really thought about what the impact will be to your family? Or did you actually think about the impact to yourself? It's a big transition, especially if you've only done active duty and you haven't worked in the civilian world. It's a different animal, and there's so many different options. And I'll bring that up in a couple later chapters of different resources and things like that to go over. But just wanted to get in there and, get the wheels churning. Do you really want to get out? Have you had enough? Do you still have more? Do you want more? That's totally up to you. You need to make that decision for you. However, if you are with a partner or spouse, kids, all that stuff, bring them into the conversation. It's most important. Because once you get out of the military, you have to work on your body and your being and your balance and your business if you plan to go that route. That being said, if you don't have those things aligned before you get out, you're not going to have them aligned as you get out. When you're in military service, you're always working out your body. I mean, you don't have a choice. You got to, no matter what you do, you're going to be working out. You got to do your physical training. You have to do your annual qualifiers, whatever branch of service you're at. It doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant. You know, if you're talking about your being, that's your relationship with yourself and God and your inner peace. And a lot of us have a lot of inner peace that's not really peace. You know, you got to figure that shit out. If you can't figure that out, highly recommend making sure that that's one of the things on your checklist when you're getting ready to do your retirement. You know, your balance piece of it, your balance is nothing more than your relationship with your family. If you have a spouse or your kids, those are your balance pieces. Now, if you don't, you have, you know, a partner or friends, you know, reaching out to them and making daily deposits into their relationship with you. You don't necessarily need to collect on anything right then and there, but, you know, you want to keep putting deposits into that bank account so that one day when you need to make that withdrawal, they're there for you. Just a little side note. And then if you want to go the business route, you want to be an entrepreneur, if you already started, hey, even better. You know, that's your avenue to finally get away from the military. Fantastic. Those are just some real important things that you really need to think about that I didn't think about at the time. You know, I'm looking here at myself and the last 7 years of what I've been going through as I transition out of active duty and reserves, you know, between losing the time on active duty, moving away from all of those friends that you've come to, you know, work with and live with and love and have fun and you know, camaraderie, confidants, all that stuff. You know, that goes away. Now you got to go into a new world, whether it be civilian people or if it's another type of contracting job working with the military. Yeah, it's similar, but it's way different. Trust me, how I know. And then if you want to throw another wrench in there, you know, suppose you're going through a divorce or you lose a family member, you lose a friend. Does a lot of influence on the things that you do in your life. So just take those things into consideration. And I would highly recommend that if you have questions or concerns about your retirement, just keep reading. You'll enjoy it, and hopefully you'll have a couple memories that'll come from this that'll be triggered, you know, of the good times. Maybe sometimes bad, sometimes stressful, sometimes hilarious. But just remember, it's all part of you. You have made that wonderful commitment to serve your country, and you're looking forward to your retirement if you so choose to do it. All of us out here, we're looking forward to supporting you either way. Take your time, read the notes, take notes, and think about the things that are going to be coming up while you're reading the book. I hope you enjoy it. Looking forward to hearing back from some comments and some reviews. Just make sure you do that after you read the book. Don't do it halfway through or don't do it right after this, because who the hell knows what you're going to think of what's coming up next.